Hi, this is Lori from Time to Be Creative. Just coming back and finishing up the pages of the wedding album I've been working on. My camera battery died on me and I didn't realize it, so I didn't have these last few pages on that video, and so hopefully this is just going to be a short little video finishing up these last few pages. And I talked about cutting out this flower from the Mambi patterned paper that I was using, and then just a little oval that I had cut out, and I went in with my alcohol markers and my chalk and just decorated that little disc. Give the page some color. I think you could put a little picture on that, would be cute. And then I came in and on this next page just made a pocket, and then I put a paper bow on it. This I saw Claire from My Creative Spirit on YouTube make this bow. Now she has an envelope making machine. I'm not sure even what you call it, but I just did this myself by hand. So I just cut strips of paper. This is a 1/2 inch, and cut a piece, you know, that matches the project that you're working on, and then you just take it and curl it in your fingers. Just gives it a little bend, and then you start forming your loops to make the size bow that you want. I probably would start with some bigger strips of paper, but I just cut these real quick to show you. And then you've probably seen this when you buy a bow. It's got these little notches. A bow made out of ribbon. Just kind of notch that out. And then I'm going to use some hot glue because that's what I have here. And it's ready. And I'll let it adhere quickly for us. Just put a little drop of glue on there, and then I just matched up my notches. Another little dot of glue. So you've got 2 little loops. And then let me see, I made another one here off camera. That might work. You want to go a little smaller with each set of loops that you create. So I'm just going to put another little dot of glue, match up my notches. And then you're going to nestle those on top of each other. My top one could probably be just a little bit smaller, but you get the general idea. So then you would come in and add another little dot of glue and layer your loops. Okay. And then you come in with your last, well, I shouldn't say last. And then you're going to come in with another strip of paper. I would do the same thing. Just kind of give it a bend. And then you're going to glue this around the center. Like that. So you only need a little piece. I'm going to wrap that around. You might want to finagle so that you have the piece of paper that you want to be on top. If it matters to you, you might not want all white space. So you just come around and glue that. Trim that off. Now I didn't take the time with this, showing this to you, that I didn't ink my edges, which you can see on my actual book. I inked my edges. And then you just come in with another piece of paper that you want to be this flat ribbon part. And the only thing with this is you have to, if you don't have that envelope machine, you just have to eyeball it. And your points may not match, but I don't know that that's critical. So you're just going to come in and so you make it look like a ribbon. And then you add a little dot of glue. And position that wherever you like it. And there you have it. That's a cute addition to a page. So that's what I did on this page. Okay? Easy. Easy, easy. So now I'm working on the back side. One thing I didn't think about adding these flowers and things when I did is that working on these pages, now they have a little bit of a bump to it. But what I decided I wanted to do for this page is to make a belly band. And so I cut a strip of paper. This is 8 inches by 1 inch. I inked my edges. But that's a really large belly band, so I didn't want to have the whole thing loose. So what I did was I measured where the center is and marked that off, and then just poked a couple of small holes with this tool that I have that has just a pointy edge. It's more like an awl. And I had these, gosh, I don't know what you call them. Brads, maybe? Do you call them brads? They have the little winged edges on them. I'm going to come in and add those. I had these, they're like a sparkly silver. Whenever I'm in the craft store, I like to look in their clearance bins and root through all their stuff. And these were from Christmas. But because they're silver, you know, they would work with any number of things. So I'm just going to use these as like a little divider. So I'm just putting those through my band. I'm going to tighten those up. I probably didn't get those as straight as so I'm just giving that a little push, kind of straighten those up. Now I wanted to hear the center as well as the sides, and I really want to flatten those out as much as I can. And I want to make sure my glue is going to stick. So I think I'm going to cover that with, I don't know if I want to cover that with a piece of paper or maybe cover that with a piece of tape. I think I'm going to go with a piece of masking tape. So I just want to cut a little piece. Again, I got this masking tape, or duct tape I should say, for like $1. It's got crazy little monkeys on it. But some of that tape is expensive. And you don't really see it. So I wasn't too concerned about what it looked like. So I'm just going to cover those metal edges. So then I'm going to put glue here in the center and then on my ends. So then I have 2 pockets. And then I'm going to come in here with a very thin strip, it's just 1/4 inch of some coordinating paper. add that there. And then I'm going to add a little flower in the center on each side. Now I do have a video of how to make these flowers, but I'm going to show you real quick how to make one of these. There's a gal by the name of Tamika on YouTube, and she shows you how to do these flowers. They're real easy and they're beautiful. She also has a link for the flower cutouts, but I used my Tim Holtz die cut, and I used the smallest flower on that die cut. Alterations by Sizzix from Tim Holt. There's several flowers on here. I'm not sure if you can see it because it's dark, but I've used this small one. I just cut that out. I'm using 4 petals, layers of petals. Tamika usually uses 5, I believe. I'm going to use 4. And I've inked my edges. I cut them out in a coordinating paper from my paper pad that I've been using, which is by Paper Studio, and it's the Blanc Boutique that we've been using. So I just cut those little petals out. What you want to be careful of making these flowers is you want a flower design that has an opening well down into the center. And you could really draw your own and cut out your own petals. Now Tamika suggests that you could use the end of a paintbrush or a marker. I tried that, didn't work out real well for me. I had a hard time getting it to work on the paper. So I went to my craft supply store and purchased these tools. They came 3 in a set, I think for like $11 or $12. And if you use a coupon, it's reasonable. But you get this large size, medium size, and then this real small size tool in the sculpting department. And they glide real easily on the paper, which is what you want. And Tamika suggests that you take water and mist your flowers. You don't want them too wet. But with this real small flower, I find I don't really need to mist them. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I do. You just take this tool, or if you're able to use the end of a paintbrush, that's great. You just want to start using a circular motion, and you're just kind of working that paper and softening those edges. And I want one that's real curled for my center, and then you just start drawing, medium pressure, drawing into the center of the flower, and it just starts to curl. And then I like to just go around the center like that to kind of pull that in. It just makes like a little cup. It only really takes a few minutes. Now if you do use your bottle mister like this to dampen your paper, you only want it slightly damp. If it's too wet, you'll feel whatever tool you're using. You won't have any slip. It'll really grab, and you won't be able to work with the paper, and you will possibly tear the paper. So once you curl that second set of petals, you flip it over to the right side up, and then I like to just make a circular motion to kind of make a space there for me to put the petal or the bud that we're going to be putting in there. So like I said, I've got 4 layers of petals. Use a circular motion on those outer petals and then just pull in. I'm working on a mouse pad. Gives you some cushion. But if you go and look for Tamika on YouTube, she's got a great video there. It's T-M-I-K-A, I believe. And the nice thing is you can make these flowers match whatever project you're working on. And if you look at my video, you'll see I put a little bit of a spin on making the flowers. And you can use them for other things other than just to decorate a book. You want to have your hot glue gun plugged in. That warmed up and ready to go. So now I'm ready to put this together. And so the petals that you curled like a cup, that's what you want to use to make your bud. And if you can roll that in your fingers, kind of softening those edges, because you want to start working that paper so you can bring it together to make a little bud. And some paper cooperates better than other paper. This has that pearlescence finish to it, so it's a little stiffer than some of your other paper. But you just want to start working that and holding it together so you're making a little bud. And then you just start coming in with your glue gun and just add the smallest amount of glue that you can, and start, you only have to hold it for a second, and start putting those petals down. Tiny bit of glue. I'm going to add another little bit there. So you end up with something that looks like that. And you're going to come in and take one of the other petals that you formed, a little glue, and then you're just going to add that bud and position it however you want it. And then again come in with a glue gun, and right at the base you're just going to add the smallest amount of glue, and you're going to start bringing those petals up to hug that bud. Again, you only have to hold it a few seconds. And then when you add your next layer of petals, you want to make sure you offset your petals. Just drop that in. And then my last one. Again, offsetting your petals. And Tamika suggests that you use a hair dryer to get rid of those glue gun strings. I haven't tried that, but I'm sure it works. So make sure you check out her video. Okay, so I'm going to use that along with the other flower that I made on this page. So I have all my pieces. And I'm just going to come in with some liquid glue and put just a little bead of glue on either end of my belly band. And then I'm going to put some in the center where I covered those brads. Now I'm working upside down, so I'm hoping I can get this situated in a good spot. The nice thing about the glue is you have some time to readjust. So I want to give that a good press. needs a little second to set. And then again, I'm going to come in and put a little bit of glue down the center of this little 1/4 inch strip of paper. My glue's starting to get empty, so I'm having a hard time. So you want to put that where you think it looks best. And then do the other side. And then I'll use this spot to add some journaling tags or slip a little photo at. Add that there. Let's see. Looks okay. And then I'm going to use my glue gun to put the flowers down. So I'm just going to put a little dot of glue and then add my flower. That's a little too wide. So then we'll be able to put something in behind that belly band. Alright? So that's that page. Now the back page of the book, I haven't thought about that. I don't have my covers ready yet. That'll be my next video. And so this is the last page that I'm going to work on until I get my cover on. And I thought I wanted to do something really grand for the last page here. And so I made these 2 little covers. I just measured out the size that I wanted, scored in 1/2 inch. This is not double-sided paper, so I went ahead and covered the inside. Just take your measurements. I rounded my corners, and then on my 1/2 inch scored section, I just snipped those corners. And the idea that I have is that I want this to be in the book like this, and then open it up and there'd be a picture of either the bride or perhaps a picture of the bride and the groom. So I thought about covering these 1/2 inch sections, and then I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll make that even a little more attractive by cutting out a frame. So I just cut another piece of paper, and again I used my cutting system by Creative Memories. I showed you on the other video. Just came in and cut that center section out. And then I took my alcohol markers and came in and just put some color on a few flowers, and I inked my edges. And what I'm going to do is attach this like that. And then I'll do some kind of a latch, or I don't think I'm going to use a magnet, but I'll do something there to kind of decorate that. And then on the inside, I'm going to just do these small little belly bands. Where we can add either a small photo or a journaling card. So I think I'm going to do that off camera because I want to get this on correctly and I don't want to work upside down. But that's basically how it's going to look. I'm going to leave the top open so they can just slide a photograph in. So I think that will look nice. And then like I said, then we just have the back page and then the inside, back, and front cover. So that's all for this video. I'm going to attach this page in now and then work on the video to show you how to do the cover. And then after that we'll come back and we'll embellish the pages and then our book will be complete. So thanks for joining me. I hope you'll join me next time as we work on the cover of this wedding album. Thank you.